welcome back to another one of my Thursday night makeup lives. I'm here with cute Michelle tonight, and we're so excited. We have a fun look for you guys. If you guys are new to my channel, every Thursday night I live stream. I either teach a makeup topic or I do a makeup look for you guys. If you're new, say hi in the chat. Today, I wanted to do some color on Michelle because she doesn't usually wear much makeup, so I thought it would be fun. So we're going to do a fall-inspired pumpkin spice makeup look today. So we're going to use some really fun, super warm fall colors. I'm going to use the Too Faced Just Peachy mattes. I'll show you and then I'll show the camera. Color. This is my favorite palette for like those really warm, kind of like pumpkin colors and stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've already done her brows. We'll flash like a full before video for you guys at the end. But I'm going to go in with this lightest color. It's the pink meringue. And just pop a highlight under her brows. So what I did for her, we did the Anastasia dip brow in chocolate on her for her brows. And she has a full brow, so I just went really light with it. I used an angle brush and kind of just drew little hairs. And we are going to do darker liner and stuff like that, so once it's completed, the eye makeup will balance out the darker brows. So I always prime the lids before I start, and sometimes I use concealer. Today I used the MAC Paint Pot, and I only have Painterly and Soft Ochre. I use Soft Ochre on her, and sometimes that one, like on medium skin tones, will go a little ashy. Which it might look in camera, but when you're doing such warm shadows over top, it totally doesn't matter. Like, it will pull that warmth out of it. Okay, and I always like to brighten the brows. I feel like it opens the eyes up and it's really, really pretty. So I'm gonna go in. This is my favorite brush to start with. This is the Sigma E40. It's really big and fluffy, so it just like diffuses the color. So we're gonna do this color. It's Peaches and Cream, and it's super pretty. And on her skin tone, she has like a really pretty golden bronze skin tone. You can go with like the really vibrant warm colors and they'll pull really pretty. Sometimes if you go too neutral, they don't give the eyes like that pop. You wear some eyeshadow, right?
Yeah,
like sometimes. What do you wear?
Darker colors. Though.
Darker colors.
Yeah, I do wear darker colors.
Like smoky?
Mm-hmm.
That's cute. Do you stick to neutrals or do you play with color?
No, I do. I like more color.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more bright.
Yes.
Because I really don't wear face makeup, so I just wear eye makeup.
Yeah, she has like amazing skin, guys. There's like nothing on her skin right now. So she was telling me she just does the tinted moisturizer, which I love. Which brand do you do?
I don't know. It's called like Emergency something.
Oh, I feel like I've heard of that. Where do you get it?
QVC.
Oh, awesome.
I never wore that, and I just bought it. And I actually like it because it doesn't cover.
Does it have vitamin C in it? Is that what it's called? Vitamin C is like the
Mhm.
best thing for your skin, like for everybody. It's good for anti-aging. Is it like a CC cream? Like, does it have like vitamin C and sunscreen and
It does have
moisturizer?
sunscreen, yes, and moisturizer.
Good job. Way to take care of your skin. And just like a light tint.
Very light. Yeah, very, very light.
I love that. I'm so addicted to coverage. Like when I buy those for myself, I'm like, it's not enough.
No, so I don't know how. I think it's because I have my freckles. I don't know how to do it without looking too cakey. You know, like I'm too cakey or like clowny.
Yeah.
It's like no.
Well, we're gonna try today. I'm gonna do like a medium coverage foundation on you just so you can see. So with her, I'm actually putting on a lot of this color. I really want to pull the warmth from it, so I kind of keep going over it. In this one, I want to take it high. If with her eyes, go ahead and look straight at the counter, the camera.
Okay.
If I don't go high enough, you're not going to see it. Like when her eyes are open, the color would just be down here. So when you're going in with these light colors, bring them high. Like leave the little highlight under the brow, but you can bring it up pretty high because you're going to diffuse your darker colors up into it. So you want this brightness up here. It makes a huge difference in pretty much almost every like makeup look I do, whatever style. I usually will always do a transition shade and I'll always bring it up high, especially when you want the color to pop. Okay, so I'm just doing like a really nice arch, just defining that crease. And then I always like to pull my colors out like I extend it, and then after I do the eyes, I'll clean up under there. But I just think that makes the eyes look really big and really pretty. So this is a super good base color. It's very peachy. This is an awesome palette. I feel like these colors are so popular. I'm going to go in with this one next. That there's a ton of warm palettes. Like, for those of you guys that like love to shop the new makeup releases and have a lot of palettes, you probably have like 50 that are the super warm tones. But I feel like this one nailed it. Like, it's like the peachiness, but it has kind of that pinky orange in it too. But it's not too, I don't know. You can definitely go too much with that and it doesn't pull right. So with this one, I'm going a little bit lower than that transition color I put in. I still want to define her crease and I'm still lifting her crease. So I'm going still above her natural crease and just adding a color that's like a couple shades darker. So we're just going to go very diffused. And I'm not going to do any browns on her today. I'm just going to do all of these fall colors, and then I think we'll do a burgundy near her lash line. That would be really pretty. So far this palette's been super pretty on everyone I've used it on. I'm always looking for new palettes too to try for fun, so I don't always use the same thing. Let me know in the comments what you guys are loving right now. What's your favorite thing? It's like a fun time of year to buy makeup. I feel like all the holiday releases are starting to happen. Are you a makeup shopper? Like, even though you don't wear a lot, are you like, oh my gosh, color, I have to
have
have
my daughter is.
She is.
I use her stuff.
Okay, next I'm going to go in with Peach Cobbler. So we're just actually, I'm going to mix these two, Peach Punch and Peach Cobbler, because I still want the brightness. Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of in the middle, actually. Like, I definitely have a lot of makeup, but I have, like, my go-to colors that I'll mix and kind of do whatever I want. But there are some people that, like, every new eyeshadow palette, they, like, love it because they're so pretty now. Yeah. Like, you almost just want to have it.
That's my daughter.
That's awesome. Does she ever do your makeup?
No, but she's very neutral.
Okay.
She knows how to do makeup, though.
That's awesome. We should have her do makeup. That'd be fun. So see, she's your neutral girl and you're the colorful one. So she probably doesn't you don't borrow each other's clothes then, right? If you have totally different style.
No, she doesn't like color. Sorry, Blake, if you're watching. She's probably like, Mom.
Good and clothes. The nice thing about not liking color is everything matches. Like, your blacks and your whites and your grays are just all going to go together. It's really easy to pick out an outfit.
Boring.
Okay, so this brighter color, I'm keeping it on the outer V. We're going to do something fun on her lid. I'm going to add a little bit of shimmer, but I just want to add some more pop and some more punch into the lid. And on like a medium skin tone, sometimes the color will kind of absorb into the skin. Like, it won't look as vibrant as it does in the palette. So a lot of times I'll gravitate towards like a brighter color than I usually would because I know it's not going to pull the same. Okay, so I'm going to take a pencil brush now. And I'm going to go in, this is just Ripe. It's like a burgundy color, and I'm going to press it in right near her lash line. And close for me. This pencil brush is MAC. I feel like pencil brushes are one of those things you can get any brand. I have a couple different brands and they all seem to work really well. Some brushes I'm so picky with, like my brow brushes, and then like my detail brushes I'm so picky with, but these ones and sometimes the fluffy ones are pretty easy. This color, like this darker color, is like really powdery. So I usually, like if I'm going to use this palette, I'll do the eyes first and then I'll do the foundation after so I can clean up under the eyes. So I'm keeping this one lower. This one I'm doing just on the outer corner of her lash line, and I'm bringing it up into her natural crease. So this one is going to be low. And I'm packing on the color, and then I'm going to go in with a lighter, like a teeny little blending brush, and I'm just going to buff it in. And these shadows blend really well. Like, they'll smooth into each other. And when you blend the color, it's really easy to like lift it off the skin. So I just go super, super light. And then if you want more of that punch, I'll add some more. Sometimes the little shader brushes, I'll show you guys, work really good too. Like these ones. Go ahead and close for me. Because you can just press it right on. So sometimes I'll do this after. And we're going to add some black liner too. These colors are pretty on you. So you'll usually do like a smoky eye. That's like your go-to, go-to look. Sorry, you're so cute, growling.
Talking to the doggies.
I know my little dogs didn't get to meet her when she came, and they're downstairs so sad. Okay, so I'm going to add some shimmer on her lid today. I'm going to go in, this is my palette. Most of these are MAC. There's a couple Anastasia. These are like my go-to colors. And this like orange, it's kind of like a golden-y like pumpkin color. That one is super pretty, so I'm going to use that. And I like these flat shader brushes for that because I like to press in the shimmer. So I'm going to go and I'm just going to do this in the middle of her lid. If you want it to be really shiny, you can add Fix Plus or water or something like that. And I probably will, but first I like to do it dry so that it blends into those matte shadows nicely. This color actually, I think this one's a Morphe color. I bought like the original Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette like a long time ago. It was the only Morphe shadows I've ever tried. And I didn't, that was a long time ago, so maybe they're awesome now, but I didn't love most of the colors, but there were two glitters in it that are like the best glitters, or the shimmery like metallic ones, and this is one of them, so I kept it. I depotted it. And they were in there tight. I don't know if you guys have ever like depotted shadows and put them in something else, but sometimes they pop out so nice. Sometimes like it's really scary because they might break. So I'm just doing this right on the center of the eye. I think it's really pretty to have a shimmer there. It gives like a 3D kind of effect. And then I'm gonna go in this one. This is a matte color. This is Expensive Pink. And it has a lot of gold in it. Like this pink color is kind of a peach with a ton of gold iridescent shimmer. So I'm going to do that more towards the inner tear duct. And I'm going to overlap them a lot because they have different undertones, so I want it to blend. And I have a little bit of Fix Plus left on my brush for that one, but I'm not going to spray it more because I'm going to add a different like inner highlight. You can kind of see the shape of her eyes. Go ahead and close. Like you can see that lighter color that's diffused up really high. It's almost like a little rainbow. Like we have the light, medium, dark. And that's what I like for that look. Like I like the diffused and I like to extend it. And then I think the shimmer's really pretty on the lid. All right, well, let's do some liner. We're gonna do black on her today. Do you usually wear liner?
Mm-hmm. I do wear liner.
Liner is awesome. It makes a big difference. Liner and lashes. I feel like if you wear the fake lashes, sometimes you can even skip liner because the bases are so dark. She was telling me she wore lashes for the first time, right?
Saturday.
On Saturday. Yeah. Yay, and she loved them. We're going to do it again. Because the lashes are the best. Okay, I'm going to have you open and then look down for me. I'm going to draw some liner right under your lash line, and if you need to blink, that's okay. It won't mess it up. And look over this way so the brush isn't in your field of vision. This is very weird if you've never had it done before, but you're doing a good job. Okay, now I'm going to have you with your eyes look over here and down. Good. I'm going to turn your head a little bit more towards the camera, though. Good job. So keep looking over there. Good. If you look away from the brush, or if you have your client look away from the brush, it's much more comfortable than seeing it kind of come at your eye. Okay, keep looking that way. Perfect. And I just lift it up. So this is called the waterline, like that little bare line of skin under your lashes. And I don't go over the whole thing. I'm like drawing in the lashes, like in between. I'm darkening up that little area. All right, go ahead and look over there. Bring it into the tear duct. And this is so pretty. Like putting like you could just put liner here and not even on the top, and it will totally make your eyes pop. Okay, look over towards me. Good. Perfect. And I like a skinny line of liner in the tear duct. I feel like it makes the eyes pop. If I'm doing a really dewy, like bright, fresh look, I won't put it there, but usually if I want some drama, I will. Go ahead and close for me. Okay, now I'm gonna do like a really skinny top line of liner. And what I like to do is sometimes this, like it's good to pull the skin up a little bit, so I'll kind of lift above the brow, and then it flattens out that area by the lashes. Like if you want to get a really skinny line, it's better to get right in between those lashes. And depending on the eyes you're working with, sometimes it helps to lift things up. Like if you're doing your own makeup and looking in the mirror, I feel like most of us naturally raise our eyebrows. Like that's why. Like you don't know, but you're like helping yourself out. You have to be careful though when you're doing, like if you do a wing and you lift your brows, because once you relax them, the wing will kind of like go somewhere else than you wanted it to. I think that's why people have trouble with the wings. It's like we kind of move our face to like do it, and then we're like, wait, like, or when you smile, like when a lot of people smile, it'll kind of move that area. So if you struggle with wings at home, or those of you watching, it helps to like see how your eyes naturally move, like when you smile, when you're relaxed, and when your brows are raised, and then you can learn where you should put your wing. For those of you in the chat and those of you guys watching the replay, we hooked up our sound different tonight, so let me know if you guys like it, if you can hear a little bit better or clearer. Okay, look forward. So pretty. Okay. I'm just gonna do, actually I'm not gonna do wings. Sometimes I like a little flick. Go ahead and close. I extended it a teeny bit past her eyeline, but not a ton. Okay, look at me. Cool. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of liner on the bottom. Just on the outer corner. Look up for me. Good. So same thing. I'm almost putting it in the waterline a little bit, but more so in the lash line. And sometimes when you do this technique, like it'll transfer from the top to the bottom. Look over this way for me. I'm gonna do in here too. And look over this way. Perfect. Good job. Okay. Gonna clean up under her eyes. And this is just micellar water. You use a makeup wipe. I like this because I feel like it's a little more gentle. I feel like with the makeup wipes you really have to like tug on the on the skin. Your youngest daughter, does she like playing with makeup?
Mm-hmm. Yes, she does.
Does she love it?
Mm-hmm.
Does she do dance or cheer or anything like that?
No, she wants to do cheerleading.
That's fun. And they'll wear makeup for that, for like competitions and stuff.
She loves
the
makeup.
lashes.
She loves makeup.
That is so cute. I love doing little girls' makeup for like dance recitals or some stuff because you can put the little lashes on them and it's so cute.
She's so funny.
Her daughter's the cutest ever. She was showing me pictures before we started. Okay. Let's go ahead and do, I'm going to pop on the lashes right now. So I'm going to do lashes and then I'll do the face and then we'll go back and do the under eye. I always do the under eye last because I like to have the concealer in place first. So we're going to do these, they're falling off because I tested them on her before we started, but these are the Demi Wispies, the Ardell. I really like the Studio Effects line because they stack the lashes so they're thicker than normal, so they give you a little bit more drama, but they're still like their natural lash shapes. Like the Demi Wispies is like definitely a natural look, so I like when they add a little bit more thickness to them. Especially when people have darker brows or darker eyes, I feel like when the lashes are thicker, it balances things a little bit better. And I'm going to use Duo Glue on her today. So have you done them yourself, or you had somebody put them on you?
No, I've never done them myself.
They're tricky like the first time or two, but once you kind of get the hang of it.
I tried. They didn't last very long.
Did they just pop off?
Yeah.
Or you couldn't get them on?
Yeah, they look funny. I couldn't get them close enough to my eye.
Oh, yes. That like makes the biggest difference. Alright, I'm gonna have you look down but don't close. You can blink. This is a good trick if you're doing lashes on somebody else and you just have them look down, then they won't get stuck together. Sometimes people will want to squeeze their eyes closed and the glue will seep down and they'll get stuck and that's not good. But if they're just looking down, then they won't. And you just have to watch it because what's going to happen is when they dry, is little corners will want to pop up. If you're doing it yourself, make sure you let the glue dry long enough, like let it get tacky before you put it on, and that helps a ton because then it will kind of stay where you put it. And these ones, they flare out at the end a little bit, so they're like a little bit of a cat eye shape. So they're going to complement that like V shape that we did with her eyeshadow. And sometimes when you do such a thin line of liner and you put on the lashes, it covers it up. So sometimes I'll go after and I'll add more, depending on the look I want. Or if I know I'm doing a really thick lash, like if you do the mink lash or something, you can totally skip liner because it just looks like you have it. Or if you want like a thick wing or something, do your wing thicker than you think because when you put the lash on, it's going to cover most of it up. Okay, look down for me. Good. And this is the clear glue. It looks kind of blue until it's dry. Like once it's all the way dry, it turns clear. Are you dressing up for Halloween?
We both wear something.
Yeah. Do you like to go all out, or do you just...
Well, I dressed up as a cat on Saturday, which was fun.
Oh, cute!
That was fun. But no, it seems cold. We go trick-or-treating with the baby.
Oh, cute.
So she dresses up completely.
What's she gonna be?
Oh, Lord. She's a dead cheerleader.
Oh my gosh! So she likes the creepy stuff.
Just this year. Out of all the costumes.
That's really funny.
She wanted to be a dead cheerleader.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, oh boy.
How is she gonna be dead? Are you gonna do like...
Yeah, she bought the whole makeup.
Oh, okay.
The whole makeup, white face with the...
Oh my gosh.
I can't believe it. I'm like, you're so cute. Why are you going to be a dead cheerleader?
That's so adorable.
It is horrible.
That's cute. I took a theater makeup class in college, and we had to learn how to do like wounds and stuff and blood. Yeah. And we had a project where we had to do some sort of wound, like a bullet hole or a gash or something. And then we had to like have a story, like we had to say how we got it, because there's like different types of blood, like aged blood is like dark and I know and life blood is like light, and so we had to like, our look had to go with our story. And one girl did like a gunshot in the head, and we got extra points like if we wore it out, because it was just like kind of
That's
embarrassing,
funny.
like it wasn't Halloween or something. And so she wore hers, like she walked home and she had it, and somebody saw her and thought it was really a bullet wound, and they passed out and they like hit their head and got hurt.
And then they had the wound
Yes,
themselves.
yes, and so after that they're like, you're not allowed to wear your wounds out. Like we always had to wash it off because people would think they were real.
Well, that's good though.
Yeah, which is good. She got a good grade.
She just bought the little makeup kit that came with the white with the red, so she'll just do with the little dark under the eyes.
That's good. And she's gonna do it?
She's been practicing.
That's adorable. She's like into it.
She is. She does not like Disney anymore. No more Disney.
She's over the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. So for her foundation, this one's Laura Mercier. Go ahead and turn towards me a little bit. So this one is like their creamy one. It's medium coverage. So her freckles are still peeking through. I really like your freckles. I don't want to cover them up too much, but I do want you to be a little bit more full coverage. Do more of a glam look. Doing it with a beauty blender helps too. I feel like it shears it out a little bit. Like if I was to go back in and do a second layer, she would be more opaque. Like that would cover the freckles. But I would say like 90% of the time people don't want their freckles covered. Like if I'm doing makeup for a bride or event or a photo shoot, like if they have freckles, I'll ask them because usually they want them to be seen.
A little bit.
Yeah, so you don't want to cover them up unless that's what they want. Okay, so now that that is on, we're going to do some concealer. And I want to make sure you don't have under eye circles, but most of us, almost all of us, have a little bit of darkness. And if it's a cool undertone, you want to use like a warmer concealer to balance it out if you're not doing a color corrector. So I think I'm going to do medium. This is Tarte Shape Tape. We'll see what this looks like. This one might be a little too dark. We'll see. We'll do medium, or tan will for sure be too dark. No, medium's good. Medium has definitely like warmer undertones. It has your yellow in it. Your best bet is to have like peach. Like if you do a peach color under the eyes, that's really good. So I'm just going in like so light, and this is like a shade or two lighter than half foundation, so I'm going to highlight her. So I'm bringing it down in that area too. And kind of a good trick to get your concealer from going too thick is to actually do it down lower, and then when you blend it, blend upwards near the eyes. Because I feel like that's a problem a lot of people have. They feel really cakey with concealer, but it's because they put so much right under their eyes. Do you usually wear any, or just your, yeah, you just kind of blend your CC cream?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't really need it. I feel like the texture is better too. Like no matter what concealer you use, like it's always going to add texture under the eyes. I'm excited for you to see the makeup.
I'm like, whoa.
Will definitely be more than you. I feel like my style is pretty natural, but for you, I feel like it will be for sure more than you usually wear. Okay, and that's really pretty. I like the way that like brightens her up, because we're gonna contour her a little bit too. Let's mix the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil, and then I'm gonna add a little bit of Max Give Me Sun, maybe. The Chocolate Soleil, the Too Faced one, it's a really good like bronzer and contour powder, but it's not super warm, which is good. That's what makes it good for contouring. But with this whole look, like I'm gonna do like a bright peachy blush to complement her eyes and a lip, so I do want some warmth in her face still. So And her skin, it's very balanced, but it's a little more on the dry side, so I'm not going to powder her before I do the powder contour. So depending on their skin, sometimes I'll go in with a really light powder and I'll set everything, and then I'll go in with my contour. But sometimes I like the finish of it better if I don't. But something to note, if you are putting a powder over a cream, like your initial touch, it's like really going to absorb it. That's why setting it first with a powder, like a translucent powder, helps. Like, it'll help things look even. So since I didn't do that and I'm going in with a contour color, it's going to grab it more. So it's more likely to be patchy and it's more likely to go on dark. So just be mindful of that. Like, just have a lighter touch. Go touch first with your brush in the areas you want to be darkest. Like, I want right under her jawbone. She has amazing cheekbones. We're going to sculpt those out. So right here is where I want to be the darkest. So after I go into my powder, that's where I'm going to touch first. And I really like an angled brush. And I usually hold it. Like, when I'm doing kind of this area, I hold it at an angle so it almost has a little bit of line. And then once it's on, I like pat it out to diffuse it, because I don't actually want any lines, but I do want a nice contour. There's kind of a fine line. You want like a nice clean contour, but you do want it blended a little bit. If you overblend, it can look a little bit muddy. Like, you want to keep this area bright. That's what gives you that really sculpted cheekbones. Okay, I think we have a comment. I tried to pull it up on my phone today. Let's see if it worked. Usually I have to take my husband's phone. Yeah, take your phone. Thank you. Okay, Nina Nolik. Hi, Nina. Thanks for watching. She said, what foundation are you using? This one's Laura Mercier. So a lot of times on camera I'll use, thank you, I'll use Makeup Forever because it's a little more sheer. This one is like a thicker cream, this one that I'm using. And I have it depotted. Like, I depotted my my foundations into those because they're lighter for my tit. So that's why it looks like unknown, but it's really pretty on her. She has a very, like, you have a very smooth, even skin tone, so like a thicker cream looks nice on you.
Thicker cream isn't bad for, like, because I have some eye wrinkles. It doesn't.
So I didn't do the makeup,
Okay.
the foundation up under your eyes, but I did do Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, which is pretty thick. It's definitely thicker than you're usually used to wearing, but I only did a little bit.
Okay.
But yeah, if eye wrinkles are something like that you're concerned about, you do need to kind of like play with different concealers and see what you like. Max, these ones, these like Studio Pro Longwear ones, I'll show the camera too. These are, it's almost gone, that's why it looks spotty. But these ones are really, really thin. So sometimes, like, if people are concerned about the eye area, those are nice. Like, if you hardly use any, and they dry matte so you don't have to powder them. So sometimes those are really nice, like, to work them in. Okay, look at me. All right, that is looking pretty. Sometimes this doesn't show up as dark on camera, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. Okay, and then I am going to use the Give Me Sun. I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. So I'm going to go in. This is a different brush. This is a clean brush. It's a little fluffier. This is a Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC. So these are very, very sheer. And they have like a little bit of a, kind of like an iridescent shimmer to them. So they're pretty. They look like skin. And this one's very warm, the Give Me Sun. So it's pretty if you want to add color. So I'm putting this like on top of her contour a little bit, like not her high cheekbones because I want to highlight that, but right between. Like, I'm almost going to meet this into my blush just to give her some warmth. And if you're mimicking like a bronze, you can put it on the nose and on the chin, like where the sun would actually hit. Because that one is, there is a difference. I'll show you guys. There is a difference between bronzers and contours. So this one, the Give Me Sun, is a bronzer, very orange, very golden. This one is kind of in between, so it almost has more of like a red, not really a cool tone, but definitely compared to that, it's more cool. So this is what I contoured with. If somebody's very fair, you want to even go cooler than this, because you're basically mimicking a shadow, like a shadow. on your cheekbone is like a cool color. Like if you look at a picture, it's more of like a gray. But if you use a gray in makeup, sometimes it's a little funny in real life. So, okay, so we're gonna go in. This is, let's do peaches. I'm gonna mix peaches and Melba. These are both by MAC. MAC has really awesome blushes. And they last forever. Like if you buy the pan of it, they last so long. Unless they break. My pink one broke. So sad. So this one's peaches. This is more vibrant. I'm doing it like on her cheekbone, and then Melba has a little bit of pink in it, so I'm going to do that more on her apples. Okay, so this is Melba. Just going to flick it on right on the apples. And I just do like little wispy strokes with my brush because I don't want like a big blob of color. Especially like I said before, since I didn't set her with the powder, like same thing with your blush. Like when you go on top of a cream foundation with a powder blush, it's gonna grab. So make sure you're in the right place and it's where you want. Okay. Before we do lips, I'm gonna finish her eyes so you guys can see. We'll add mascara and we'll do the under eye color. So I'm gonna use a lot of the same colors we did on top, and I'm gonna diffuse it. So I'm gonna go on with Peach Tea and bring it all the way under her eyes, and then I'm going to go in with some darker colors and define near the lash line. So I'm going to take this brush, like a little fluffy brush, and take that Peach Tea, like light color, look up for me, right under her eyes. You're so what eyeshadow brands do you like?
We have that Naked palette. I think that's what I use all my daughter's stuff.
Oh, that's nice. Which one is it?
She has quite a few. She has a lot.
Those have good neutrals. They're like pretty colors. And I feel like they blend really well too. And they're like a little bit more sheer, so you like can't mess them up. Okay, right, do you need to blink a couple times? Okay. Look up for me. So this one's the darker color, so I'm gonna stop about halfway. And sometimes I'll flick it up into that, like since I extended her shadow a little bit, I'll flick it up into the outer corners. And then I'm gonna go in with that shader brush I showed you guys earlier, and I'm gonna go in with the peach tart color. Look up for me. And I'm gonna wiggle this one into her lash line because I want to diffuse it a little bit. And this is the color that that drops, that has a lot of fallout, so just be careful. Like right when it falls, wipe it off. I feel like colors that have maroon in them or purple, like a darker matte, they always are like very kind of flaky. Alright, and then let's add a pop of just MAC Vanilla. I have been using this pigment since I like first started doing makeup. It's like in a little jar. And dump some into the lid. This is like the prettiest color for like the inner highlight, and you can close. Because it has a lot of gold in it. It's like a champagne but lighter. Because I really like a lot of brightness on the inner highlight, but if you go white, sometimes it's just too unnatural. But this one has enough gold with a teeny bit of a pink undertone, and that makes it work with all skin tones. Like the gold is good for your warmer skin clients, and the pink in it makes it work for the cool tones. And it just brightens the skin underneath it. So if you use it on someone with dark skin, it'll just brighten that. If you use it on somebody fair, it'll like look different on them. It will look lighter. So this whole look is very glowy, so it's very pretty. Alright, I'm going to add some highlight before we do the lipstick. Actually, let's do some mascara on you. Do you ever curl your lashes?
I'm so boring.
No, you're good.
To makeup.
You're good.
It's like chew really fast.
I'm gonna curl them for you. Go ahead and look forward. Yes. Just a little bit. Okay. Does that pinch at all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just gonna give it a light little squeeze. Okay, go ahead and blink a couple times. Good job. It's so weird if you've never had that done when someone else does it. I don't want to make your eyes water. Okay, does that pinch at all?
Mm-mm.
Right. Okay, good. So sometimes I'll curl the lashes before I put on the strips. Like if they have like the downturned lashes. You didn't. You have nice like uplifted lashes. But if I put on the strips and they're not like opening the eyes like I want them to, I will curl them because that is what's going to make the eyes look really bright and pretty. Especially when like these lashes, the Jimmy Wispies, they're not very long. That's why they look natural on everybody. So I always curl them or like push them up to make the eyes open. Otherwise, like it's kind of pointless to even have a lash. They're not helping you out. I always use disposable mascara wands on client. No double dipping, especially near the eyes. Okay, look down for me. I'm just gonna pull your eye open. So what I'm doing with the mascara is I'm just pressing her natural lashes into the strip and I'm darkening them up. She has pretty, I would say your natural lashes are pretty black, like they're pretty dark. But most people's aren't. They're more brown or blonde, so they need the pigment. Otherwise, they're kind of like putting a light layer over the strip and like defeating the purpose. Okay, look up for me. And I like bottom mascara. Especially if I did like I smoked out her bottom waterline a little bit, so I feel like it helps diffuse it if you add look up for me, the mascara. And I don't do a ton. The bummer about using disposable wands is like if you really liked the wand that comes with the thing, like you don't get to use it. Okay, let's do some glow. Do you like highlight? Do you ever use highlight?
No.
Okay. Excuse me.
Like, no.
Well, let's do some for you today. Let's do Becca. These two would both be really pretty. So this is the Omrizi Beverly Hills, the new one. And this one's super, super sparkly. Like it's very glowy. And then the Becca is shattered, so I'm not going to hold it up. But this is gold too. And this one's more natural. The Becca ones kind of melt into the skin, so I feel like they look more natural. And lately, I have really been liking this is the Anastasia AU23 brush for highlight. It's my current favorite. I'll just flip around what brush I like for that. So it just gives kind of a glow. So I'm putting this on like the high points of her cheeks. And then I like to bring it up under the eye a little bit, just to diffuse it. A little bit above the lip. So we're going to do like a peachy nude on her just to tie everything together. If I was to go like too cool or too brown on her lips, it will kind of mute everything or it wouldn't look as balanced. So I'm going to keep with these tones and just do kind of like a neutral version of that. So we are going to start with Velvet Teddy and see how we like that. And then I'll probably do a little bit of an ombre. I'll probably add some Honey Love in the middle. Let's start with the Velvet Teddy. So I pot all my lipsticks. So this one's Velvet Teddy. And then I just scrape them out with a clean spatula. This is like probably like a medium nude. This whole look would be really pretty with like an extra nude color too. Like if you just did Honey Love, that would be so pretty. Velvet Teddy's pretty. It looks good on everybody and it kind of pulls like whatever their skin tone is. Like on me, this color looks like a lot more pink, like almost kind of a cool tone. On her, it's like a really pretty medium peach. It's a good one. Okay, towards me a little bit. And I use a brush for lips just because I don't ever use lipstick straight from the tube on people, but you totally can on yourself. Sometimes the brush gets it more precise, especially if you're really shaping their lips. Like if on myself, if I'm doing a bright color, I'll always do a brush. Lip liner helps too. Like if I'm doing a nude, like I'll do a lip liner and draw out my lip shape with the liner, and then you can just pop the lipstick over top. You don't have to be as precise. Alright, I'm going to show you guys just the lipstick, and then I'm going to grab a gloss too, because I feel like a gloss would be pretty. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Honey Love just in the middle. It's a good trick to give the illusion of a lot of fullness if you do a lighter color in the middle. So these are all by MAC, these colors. So this one's Honey Love, and it makes a teeny bit of Myth. Myth is the best color if you have like a lot of lipsticks and you like to mix. Myth is so pretty to like brighten up the inner, like whenever you do a nude, it looks good with everything. No, you're good. I should have thought you before we were.
No. It never does something. I'm like, it's because it's quiet.
Yeah, it does whenever we're not talking. Okay, that's like super subtle, but you can kind of see like it just gives the lips more dimension to use two colors like that. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to grab a glass, 1 second. Let's do a little bit of, this one's really glittery. This one's Pink Lemonade by MAC. This is more of a solid color. So this one, when I use this as a topper, I only use a little bit because it is like very peachy, very bright. But if you just do a little bit, it's so pretty. Like this is like the best bridal color. This gives the lips like a little creaminess. And if you're just doing gloss for dimension, which I basically am, you can just do it in the middle and then fade it kind of out into the corners so you don't have to do it everywhere. Alright guys, before I show her, we are going to show you her before video. And she's very gorgeous before. You don't even need makeup. But you can see, because we started with the brows done, so. You are a babe. I'm excited for you to see. Okay, so that was the before. So we did the brows. She had a really nice full brow before, but I just wanted to define her arch a little bit. Sometimes, like, our natural hairs, you just can't see over here. So if you really want to open up the eyes, at least put some pigment here. But because I did like a little bit of a darker color, you have to extend it in there. It has to blend. All right, let me grab you a mirror.
Before picture, wow.
No, you looked good.
Oh wow, how pretty. See, I wouldn't know how to do this.
Your eyes look super, super pretty.
No, yeah, but I would not know how to do this.
Well, you can watch your video.
Yeah, really, now I can go in
now you have your own tutorial. It looks
wow,
gorgeous.
Thank you.
Thank you for being my model, and thank you guys for watching. I will be back again next Thursday. Thanks for watching.
Bye.